Hello, my name is Dan, the voice behind that Kaito Dan, and welcome to the death battle between Crona and Venom.
Sorry about that, I seem to have a little symbiote in my throat. Welcome to another death battle reaction, but before we get started, as always, please make sure you're watching this episode first through roosterteeth.com to support the show and the fantastic people behind it. It is the battle, most fittingly for October, of the creepy killers with some very equally creepy bonded entities to them. Venom and Crona, I'm really excited for this one. It's going to be probably much like the Carnage versus Lucy death battle, where it's going to be kind of dark, gritty, very vicious fight, going off both their characteristics. I'm looking forward to this one. In terms of my experience with both the characters, Venom, though I've not read any comics with Venom, or really much comics, as I've said most times in these reactions, I've seen plenty Venom stuff in terms of like the 90s cartoon, the various films, mostly the two, Spider-Man 3, which was Spider-Man 3. And even though I've not seen Venom fully, I've seen more than enough clips to think that it's decent, and I'm going to have to give it a full watch at some point. And then, of course, there's the other various cartoon appearances, video game stuff, especially like the PS1 game, fantastic. I've got some familiarity with Venom through that. And I know that it's like an alien symbiote bonded to various people, most notably Spider-Man and Eddie Brock. And it has a mixture of the alien symbiote plus Spider-Man powers to make it a very vicious, deadly force that sometimes actually is an anti-hero, depending on the story and whatnot. So I know that they've kind of been mostly played as a villain, but sometimes as a good guy as well. But either way, Venom is still vicious, deadly, creepy as all hell with that like freaky ass smile and the tongue. Ugh. Freaky stuff that. In terms of Crona, I loved Soul Eater. I thought it was one of my favorite animes when it was first dropping off. It was a fantastic watch. Even if it had a bit of a meh end with the anime original ending, it didn't follow on from the manga as it was still ongoing at the time. But even so, I did keep on track with the manga for a decent amount, all the way up to its ending. I really love the story, the universe, the various fights, a lot of the jokes, and the various cast of characters, including Crona. By the way, I need to make sure I say they and them for Crona, because I believe they didn't mention Crona's gender at all. I think they left it unknown, so apologize if I mess up there. Crona, lovely character, a very tragic character as well. The child of Medusa, experimented on to become a Kishin, basically to become like a high-level demon. And poor Crona went through quite a lot of stress, all kinds of experiments on her, and just having to deal with basically killing people to become the Kishin for her mother, for their mother. And Ragnarok, the like living entity bonded to them through the black blood, bullies Crona a lot as well. It's just like every single day is almost like a never-ending suffering for Crona. But even so, Crona is still a force to be reckoned with the black blood, which makes them almost very hard to attack, like really hard blood defenses. Ragnarok is an insanely powerful sword. The various Venom-like elements in terms of like the molding, the morphing. So yeah, this should be a very exciting fight of two very similar characters dealing with some very dark elements to them. But in terms of who I think is going to win this, I'm going to go with Crona for two reasons. One, I think Crona has a lot more in their arsenal in terms of like the sword, the morphing elements of Ragnarok. Venom obviously has a lot of that as well, and is probably the physically stronger of the two. But I think Crona also has the benefit of anime powers, and a lot of the abilities and strength that they have, especially as the manga made them even stronger and stronger, basically almost to the point of being the main villain in a sense, but not quite. But yeah, Crona, the anime, and Crona in the manga is completely different. They made Crona an absolute nightmare. So yeah, I think Crona, in terms of like power, is going to be able to top Venom. And then there's the glaring weakness of Venom, well, one of them, sound. And a lot of Crona's arsenal is sound-based. The sword has a mouth that screams. It's an ear-piercing scream that can even affect the weapon people in their weapon form. So it's not just your average screams. There's some real power behind it. And unless Venom has gained something that has completely negated, like fully negated that sound damage, I think that's going to be too much, combining the anime level power of Crona and just like everything that they go through in the manga with the sound attacks. I think it's going to be a bit too much for even Venom. But the only way to find out is to watch the fight. So, count it down with me. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. What a very fitting death battle for the first one of October.
Nice to have a best friend attached to your head, like me and my
I wouldn't exactly call, well, maybe Venom and Eddie at this point, but I wouldn't call Crona and Ragnarok friends.
best frenemy, and Crona, the deadly demon.
By the way, when are we getting Ruby versus Maka? That's the Soul Eater fight that we want to see in Death Battle. I mean, imagine they will at some point. It has to happen. I like the preview there with the little, the pixel stuff. It definitely looks like they're going for a dark element again, much like Carnage versus Lucy.
One of these amorphous symbiotes was Venom. Who was a freaking loser? Hey, don't look at me.
Yeah, imagine that. Venom. Looking at Venom, and that's supposedly the loser.
In its exile, the symbiote underwent a number of misadventures
Whatever.
which firmly shaped its personality. It bonded to a heroic Kree soldier rescuing refugees, a violent monster who committed genocide, and apparently Deadpool. No wonder Venom.
Oh, that's a dangerous combination there. Forget the other stuff. Venom versus Deadpool. Venom and Deadpool. That is a dangerous combination. And then, at the bottom there, weakness, sonic sound.
Exercise it with the power of Christian Rock.
Christian Rock. Hey, don't knock Christian Rock. Skillet, love those guys.
Edward Brock.
There he is.
Journalist with the unluckiest backstory ever. While
Really?
trying to uncover the identity of a serial killer, he blamed the wrong guy.
I wonder if that's Carnage. He's got that similar smile.
Right next door to the dude Eddie blamed.
Oh.
Eddie was fired from his job, divorced by his wife, and disowned by his father.
Damn, I didn't know this much about Eddie.
Dying in childbirth. On top of all of that, Eddie learned he developed adrenal cancer. with only 6 months left
Jeez.
to live. Man, and I
Kick the
thought
guy in the
he was
nuts
right.
anymore.
Don't blame him for becoming a
2020.
supervillain. With
Yeah.
all hope lost,
We're all kind of
Ed
dealing with our own
Boss
stress this
took it
year.
all away and got an answer. The symbiote. Just like Captain Planet with their
Likes
powers
Frank
combined,
Sinatra?
these two losers became
I mean, fair enough.
a super loser. Well, no, they actually became a horrifying monster with all of Spider-Man's powers and so.
But that too, yeah.
Mutual hatred of Spider-Man caused the symbiote to bond to Eddie like no host ever before. They were perfect, a terror in the night. An
Yeah, I
unstoppable
definitely need to get to seeing the Venom film in full at one point.
Eddie's cancer. Sort of.
Oh.
It's complicated.
No,
Apart from
I won't bother to ask then.
controlling powers, Venom can use shape-shifting to mold his body into cool doodads. Swords, shields, tendrils, worm monster things, even wings.
Oh yeah, he was in Marvel vs. Capcom.
This guy flying out
That
the
is
window.
freaky looking. Oh my god.
Good luck sleeping.
That looks like something you would see in like a gothic novel or something like that.
Heal severe wounds like
Oh no,
violent and loss
not a fan.
of
Not a fan of
see
that
all around him
regeneration
and
with the leg there.
psychically project
Ugh.
emotions onto others.
Oh.
Really, this just makes people feel sorry for themselves. Like
I don't think that's going to affect
Tinder.
Crona because they're very much
Other symbiotes
an emotional wreck as it is.
killed themselves.
So I don't think that's going to really come into play in this fight.
The symbiote can even
Ugh.
invade the bodies of others
Say, ah!
from inside out. Gross and awesome.
But if he doesn't want to pop them like a fun balloon, he can just take over their body like a creepy puppet master.
While attached to a victim, Venom can
Even more
control them by
creepy.
fusing the symbiote to their nervous system, specifically the
Right.
brainstem and frontal lobes. Fighting off this mind control is extremely
And that
difficult
explains the
unless you have
mental
powers that
connection
can
between the
direct
two and how
counter,
Venom's able to
such as
speak
another symbiote.
Oh,
to
God.
the
Aliens,
host.
Tentacles and mind control?
Uh.
Are we sure this episode is rated E for everyone? or-
Yeah, I knew this was where they were going to go with that.
Don't worry, aside from being a horrible mass murderer, Venom's stories are completely wholesome.
Right.
Doubt.
Venom proved a dangerous thorn in Spider-Man's side and frequently ruined his life. Even taking a page out of my favorite book, The Most Dangerous Game, and hunting
Ooh.
him on a private island.
Yeah,
That's
he
cool.
was the coolest rival ever.
Actually sounds familiar. I might have heard of that
Kinda
before.
calmed down a bit. They even teamed up every so often.
See, even with so much
Took a sonic
anger,
wave
he
that
had a
shattered
legitimate
windows
desire
within
to
10
help
miles.
others.
So they
As a team,
they have been able to
Steve
take a
Rogers
heavy amount of
accidentally
sonic
ran
damage,
over and
but I want to know if they
killed
can
Despite
fully
his
at this
desire to
point.
confess, his father forced him to plead innocent and rigged the jury.
Oh,
the guilt
God.
has weighed him down ever since.
This guy had a rough life. I didn't know about any of
He'd
this.
rather eat the face off a criminal than an innocent person.
Venom's as tough as they come. He survived Ghost Rider's penance stare.
Really?
Strong enough to toss a tank
Damn.
hundreds of feet
So yeah,
up.
he's definitely more than just strength. He's durable.
2099, who once caught Mjolnir while he
Huh.
was leaving 2,000 times
Suddenly
the speed of
Mjolnir.
Although Venom
Never
does
thought
not
we'd
possess
hear
the
about
spidey
that
sense allows
in this
Parker to
fight.
react in microseconds, he can still keep up with all the usual Spidey gallery. Plus, while symbiotes have a severe weakness to high-pitched sound and heat,
Nope.
he's developed resistances to them.
Like when he took this giant explosion,
Right.
or when he survived a sonic scream from some mutant gremlins that shattered
This
all
must be what they were talking about earlier. Yeah,
While
because there's the
he may be
windows.
tougher to take down than most other symbiotes, Venom never fully overcame his weaknesses. However, his
That's what I
symbiotic
needed.
traits provide
Never
far
fully
more
overcame it. So
This includes traits
unless
from
Venom's got
Venom,
something that can go through like the black
Flashpoints.
blood of Crona, I think this is a win for Crona.
Trait? How do I pass that down?
Venom would certainly need a lot of firepower to survive an encounter with the symbiote god.
Oh, Jesus.
The hell is that?
First, the
Symbiote
symbiotes
god.
were seen as a peaceful people. But turns out they were actually living weapons forged by the primordial deity Null in an attempt to conquer
Null.
the universe.
And I bet next
God,
time
that
we'll
is
have
cheesy.
magic maple syrup people from Asgardian IHOP. But okay.
Comic books, they like to mix around and create new origins for
Let's go
stuff.
with that.
Despite it all, Eddie and the symbiote have proven they're far more than the dark legacy the Clint were intended
Yeah,
for.
sometimes they are
Gain
played as a
respect
straight up
and
villain,
vengeance
other
and
times a
eventually
bit of an
consider
anti-hero.
Spider-Man a friend.
And that is a very strange sight.
Eddie really is the best pal Venom could have
We
had. And let's
are
be real,
Venom.
He just looks freaking badass.
True. Even with it looking freaky as all hell, it is kind of badass. Alright, that's Venom. Next up,
In
Crona.
ancient times, a demonic being known as the Kishin ravaged humanity, nearly driving
I need to
all
get back and
mankind
rewatch
to
this
the
anime
depths of
again.
the
I
abyss.
haven't done so in a
This
while,
monster
actually.
could only be defeated and sealed away by the god of death.
So,
Yes.
literal god of death, so goofy looking. You ever seen Death Note?
I believe it's because he didn't want to scare kids.
Scarier than this clown.
If you are unfamiliar with the world of Soul Eater, prepare yourself.
First time having a Soul Eater rep in this, and most of us thought it would be Marker.
The apocalypse, Death and his oven mitts founded a school.
I mean, they are kind of like other mitts. It's almost like foam fingers as well. There's Marker. Again, if you haven't seen Soul Eater, check it out. I'm sure they're going to go into some spoilers here, so be warned.
They learned courage.
But Soul Eater is a kick-ass anime. Definitely go check it out.
You know, all that anime crap.
Crona Gorgon was not one of these students.
But
There we go.
it's
Origin time.
Bluesville from here. Deal with it.
I don't think I know how to deal with this situation.
Throughout their childhood, Crona was abused by their mother, Medusa, a witch obsessed with the legendary Kishin.
You can see where this is going.
Yep.
Anime Uma Thurman was such a fantasy figure.
Anime Uma Thurman.
So she used her child as
I mean, I kinda see it, but
crazy experiments.
such a
Like
random
something
statement.
Something you do is
Don't be silly, I only use actual guinea pigs. Part of Medusa's
Weaknesses,
experiment
stress, and
included
loneliness.
bonding Crona to a weapon.
Again,
Much like the
I think the only thing that Venom can do to target that would be the emotional screams, but I think Crona might be able to
Ragnarok
manage with
used
that.
to be your run-of-the-mill
Ragnarok, here we go.
weapon person, until Medusa melted him alive in black blood.
Black blood being
The
another
demon's sword.
experiment of hers. Crona's own blood is, in fact, this same black blood, which they can remotely control. It can
Very
be
much
used to
like the
heal
Venom
wounds and
symbiote.
even harden as a sort of internal armor.
cooking rags and
Yeah,
black
Crona's
blood.
not your average
New weapons
human.
that was literally poured into Crona's bloodstream.
From that point on, Crona and Ragnarok were two halves of the
Oh,
same
look at this
person. The meek and tortured child
Even
firmly
look cute
attached
there,
to
but
her loud and brazen weapon.
Crona's whole life was just a lot of suffering.
They can yank poor Crona around like a puppet. They can use black blood to create wings, thorny vines, all kinds of weapons. And
There's some of the
big-ass
manga
needles.
stuff here.
Ugh, I hate needles. What's up with that mouth when he transforms
Yeah,
into a sword?
the sound
That
stuff,
thing's
here we
messed
go.
up.
Like the Meisters, Crona can wield their own soul
Yep.
in combat, amplified by Ragnarok as a technique called scream resonance. Think of it like hooking an electric guitar up to an amp, though more akin to a screeching banshee on LSD.
Right.
How you play?
And I don't think Venom's going to be able to completely withstand the amount of damage this can do.
Internal damage to foes,
Speaking of
making
damage.
Ragnarok vibrate to increase his cutting power. Hey, are you okay?
What?
With this weapon at their side, Crona set out on a quest.
Black
to
Sword
become a
Brew, I
priest,
remember
which
that.
required quite a lot of homicide.
Yeah, unfortunately Crona's had to kill a lot of people.
Supposedly, enough souls will turn Crona into the Kishin. So they went around slaughtering hundreds of people.
Yep.
Despite their name, Death Academy wasn't exactly a fan, particularly their star student, Maka Albert.
That was a kick-ass fight.
She and Crona ended up becoming good friends until they weren't. Sort of.
Yeah, the manga.
Medusa's mission, Crona
Again,
gained
get ready for
several
some manga
weapons of
spoilers.
potential, notably after gaining or absorbing the powers of the monstrous Black Clown, the Demon
Mm-hmm.
Tool Brew, and even Ashura, the original Kishin.
All of which increased Crona's abilities.
Yeah. This is not your anime Crona.
And the slightest touch could inflict madness. That's madness
Yeah.
with a capital M, by the way.
This madness is a
Yeah, that
collective
can
effect
made
caused
even
by
Maka
the
go
currents of
cuckoo
illusion
for Cocoa
itself,
Puffs.
often spread as a wavelength. The wavelength of Crona's mad blood specifically causes violent psychosis.
Crona may be a pawn, but they're a badass. They can cut through a whole ghost ship, cover the moon with sound waves, open the moon's mouth. What the hell
Yes,
is that moon?
the moon is a bit
Ragnarok have held their own
weird.
against multiple
I say a
Death
bit,
Academy students,
totally
including
weird.
Maka, Death the Kid, and Black Star.
Sometimes
Crona was a force to be
It
reckoned
flew
with
from
for a
Nevada
lot
to
of the
Egypt in
manga.
less than a minute, and Black Star is even faster. He's dodged lasers and been tracked moving over 20 kilometers in 6 microseconds while approaching Baba Yaga Castle.
And Crona's been able to make enough mad blood to crush a whole goddamn Ukrainian city.
Jeez.
Named, we can use a similar metropolitan area in Ukraine. Kiev, for instance.
Oh,
With this
Kiev.
in mind, Crona must have created
know
over
that.
9 trillion tons
That
of
is a big old
enough
number.
to fill over 6 billion Olympic swimming pools.
Jesus Christ.
Crona's a big leap from invincible. They've had their shit kicked in plenty of times.
True.
Their hardened black blood can only block so much.
Even then, Medusa's plan.
But I don't
ultimately
think they've
succeeded.
mentioned
After
anything
years
in
of
terms of like
scheming, Crona
Venom's
absorbed
power.
the
There's going to
power
be
of
enough to
Ashura and
do
became a Kishin.
enough damage.
More like Kishin absorbed Crona, but close enough.
But
Yeah.
with the power of friendship, Crona ironically wound up defeating the Kishin once and for all.
Manga
Despite
spoilers.
life being nothing but destruction, Crona was the one who ultimately saved the world.
Da 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 da. She finally got a bit of a happy ending.
Wavelength that made everyone obsessed with boobs. Truly a positive effect.
Because, yeah, there's a lot of boob stuff in the manga and the series as well.
Deal with you.
But yeah, I'm feeling very confident about my pick. I am sticking with Crona. But let's see how this fight goes. And we'll just do a little bit here to get some more light in here. Here we go! Come on, Crona, don't let me down. I feel very confident about your victory here. Of course it's in a church.
I want to be alone.
I don't think you're never going to be alone with Ragnarok around. Ugh.
2 brains for the price of 1.
Here we go. Fight!
I don't think I can handle this right now.
Good job getting Crona's like whacked out eyes when she panics. When they panic, sorry. Oh god, now they're pissed. I'm loving the animation for this already. They've done a good job capturing the movements and the flow of the animation with the blood and the venom. Ain't that easy. First scream. And already it's kind of overpowering Venom there. Nope. So yeah, very sound-based attacks with Crona. And I don't think Venom's gonna have enough to take it all. Oh, that's a cool shot. Like camera spin around to make it front facing. Very cool.
He's gone? What is he?
Ooh.
Under your bed.
Teeth ground sharp and eyes going red.
Even though they're technically white at this point. That is one hell of a tongue. Come on, Crona. Oh, Jesus Christ, that is freaky. Oh.
I know. It's black.
And it's time to go nuts. They got the moon. That's a nice touch. It's a freaky touch, but it's a nice touch. Oh, God damn it, Ragnarok. Leave Crona alone. Jeez, that's still freaky, even in pixel form. Uh-oh, 3 swords. Suddenly Crona's gone Zorro. Come on. That freaky ass moon. Is that it? Come on. Uh-oh.
We are the darkness. We are your nightmare.
We are Venom!
Almost like the inverse of the Batman line. Oh god, that is creepy. Uh-oh. That looks to be it. 3 screams, better than 1. There you go. Get in. Woo. Jesus, that is freaky. Oh god. Stop. Turn away. Go somewhere else. Yes! Got that one right.
Stop picking fights with pink-haired anime characters.
Oh god, yeah! They both... Venom and Carnage has both lost to pink-haired anime girls.
Kept Crona on guard. Unfortunately, Venom lacked the power needed to keep up a prolonged fight.
Yeah.
Crona matching Black Star's speed makes for a pretty clear difference. Crona could reach Mach 9,000, while Venom only topped out around Mach 2,000.
And while Venom has shown incredible physical strength that puts Spider-Man to shame, he could never compete with 9 trillion tons of mad blood.
Not enough to break through the black blood.
Precise control of the black blood totally meant Crona could push out any of Venom's attempt at being a puppeteer.
And Crona's shown even greater feats of strength as well. Assuming all of the moon's teeth are similar in size and stone, opening this jaw is equivalent to lifting over 10,000 tons.
Of course, the final nail in Eddie's coffin was the fact that half of Crona's arsenal was sound-based. Basically, Venom...
Exactly.
Somewhat. Recall that Venom did gain a notable resistance to sound attacks. So
Right.
we needed to determine if Crona's sonic waves were great enough to effectively harm him.
You know those
Yeah, the fact that it's hurting Soul there while he was in his weapon form.
The symbiote barely survived.
I think that says a lot right there, but
to look at.
let's get into the
Takes
maths.
at least 100 decibels to shatter glass normally.
Right.
To cover that much distance, the combined sonic blast must have equaled about 244 decibels. In contrast, in order to engulf the moon,
Sound is
Crona's sonic
life-threatening
waves
at
must have
108,
reached
so that was already louder.
275 decibels.
Jeez.
And yes, that's considering the weird size and shape of the moon. Ugh, just look at that freaky thing.
Sure,
Very one of the
275
most
is
striking
not much
images
more
in the Soul Eater series.
But decibels increase on a logarithmic rate.
So it's even
means
bigger
Crona's
then.
Sound attack was actually over 1,000 times
Gee, so it was very comprehensive then.
Eddie and the symbiote held their own with
Cool, so I'm glad I got that one right in terms of like the reasoning as well.
and an arsenal that could take advantage of Venom's key weakness.
Looks like Venom just got Ragnarok.
The winner
Fair enough.
is Crona.
Yes, I'm so glad I got that one right. I was feeling so confident, I was worried that I was going to be incorrect by the end. But let's see what is the next fight.
The box is right around here, and you can always pick up some DB merch at store.roosterteeth.com.
What is next? What the hell? Red versus blue? I mean, that's trying to fall in line, I guess, with the upcoming series. That's cool. full on red versus blue. I wonder if they're going to get Bernie back for that. But wow, that's actually pretty cool. Red versus blue. Nice little bit of a promotional win. And this time, no one can say it's RT bias because it's an RT show. Yeah, I'm so glad I got this one right. I got all the reasonings right as well. And in terms of the fight itself, pretty kick-ass. I love just how intense and like dark and menacing it was. They did a good job capturing the pixel stuff with the faces, like how well they got Crona's like eyes going whacked when they panic. I love that camera shot where it's like facing from the side and then you turn around and you're facing Crona. That is a pretty cool shot. They're just a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. I've not got a lot of history with red versus blue, so this one should be pretty interesting, the next fight. But let me know what you thought about this fight and the reaction as well in the comments down below. And while you're at it, hit the subscribe and bell buttons and tick the notification box to make sure you get every new video from me as they drop. And follow me on Twitter at ThatKaitoDan for more on anything to do with future reactions, updates to the channel, and more. But until next time, have a good day or good night, and peace out.